Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Underrated Commanders. Specifically, episode 5 will be commanders from the Final Fantasy sets. I am your host, Commander Claw, and I am here to convince you to deck build or brew with these commanders. And I feel like I have some really good arguments for you. So, without further ado, let's talk about these 3 Final Fantasy commanders. So, first of all, we got Edgar, King of Figaro. This is a commander that's all about drawing cards for the amount of artifacts you control. When he enters the battlefield, you just get to draw cards. That's a solid ETB. That's stuff that Blue classically does anyway, right? But he has this ability called Two-Headed Coin. The first time you flip one or more coins each turn, those coins come up heads and you win those flips. So I kind of want to make some clarification here, right? So if you only flip one coin, and maybe the spell that says flip coins 5 times, this will only Edgar's ability will only work for the first coin flip. However, if you have a card probably like Goblin Trap Runner where you have to flip five coins. That's me thinking about Sonic right now. 5 coins at the same time, you would win all 5 of those flips. See that? Because Two-Headed Coin says the first time you flip one or more coins each turn, those coins come up heads and you win those flips. So just want to get that out of the way. Otherwise, I think you can put Edgar in the 99 of the coin flip commanders or Yusri the something flame. They're like go-tos, right? But I actually have another offer for you. So my proposal for you is to build Edgar, King of Figaro, as your commander and have Urza Lord High Artificer in the 99. But it's ultimately a Urza Lord High Artificer deck. So, one reason why Edgar would be appealing is because, hey, he's an inconspicuous commander. Uh, Everybody knows when you have Urza as your commander, all panic breaks loose, kill on sight commander, people judge you, you just don't get to have a fun game most of the time, right? They're coming after you. Well, hide Urza. Hide him in the 99 of Edgar King of Figaro. In your deck anyway, you're making a bunch of artifact tokens anyway. Anyway. So why not for a 6 drop that you'll probably cast for less, draw cards every time for each artifact. And don't forget, you're in blue, so you get to blink it blink it, blink it. And ultimately, you're drawing the setup cards or the combos that you have for Urza, Lord High Artificer. And you know what? If you're new to Magic, I got a fun card for you to Google or go on Scryfall or go to EDH Rec for. The card is banned, but it's called Tinker. Just look that up. It's just an interesting banned card that you cannot play with, but just want to shed light on some old cards for new players. Moving on to our second underrated commander. So we have Ultimacia, Time Sorceress, and Ultimacia Omnipotent. I believe she is a good stuff commander for Demir colors, right? In general, I would lean towards her as a Demir beater, right? But in Demir, you have options to mill your opponents, play powerful black spells that just end the game. You have powerful blue spells that take extra turns. You have the ability of counter spells and soft locks. But what makes Ultimacia an underrated commander, in my opinion, is her library manipulation ability. When she enters or attacks, you surveil 2. Okay, you're looking at your top 2 cards and you're deciding if they go into the graveyard or they go back on your library. Do not underestimate this because there's so many Demir commanders that want to do this and they just do this at a slower pace. However, Ultimacia is just a great commander to hide all of your intentions. Anybody who knows this commander, as is your opponents, know eventually it transforms and you can take an extra turn, right? You can blink it and take another extra turn, right? But that is just a nice setup to finish off the game of your game plan anyway, what you want to do. So that's why I believe she's a good stuff commander. And she's even more powerful because you have blue and black. And, the Black Guild is just known for having powerful spells and powerful black creatures that can just end the game. And even Demir creatures that just do monstrous mill effects on your opponents. And you can just mill them out. You got options. That's why I think she's underrated. And she can be built many ways. And I also have another way for you. Now, I want you to take this as just one example. Over here on the right-hand side, I have the Scarab God. And if you know the Scarab God, it is a zombie tribal, most of the time zombie tribal commander, right? But in Demir colors, you got other creature types like fairies, assassins, ninjas, and Ultimate Sia can be that good stuff commander that hides your entire deck's game plan. And ultimately, when you have enough mana and this, scenarios right, flip her over, transform her, and take an extra turn to do whatever nastiness you want to do with your deck. And we all know the Scarab God has an awesome at the beginning of your upkeep ability. It says each opponent loses X life, and you scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. So yeah, you can have this as a zombie tribal deck, but Ultimate Sia as your commander. And when you're going for that game winning action, of course, you want an extra turn, an extra upkeep to finish off your opponents by draining their life and scrying X. That's how you're going to win the game. But there's just more powerful creatures out there in Demir colors and commanders that you can build around. You're not limited with Ultimate Sia because she is a commander that library manipulates and gives you an extra turn. Moving on to the third commander. So when I first saw this card, I didn't think it was a card just because the artwork and the border, and I was like, is this a image, PNG, JPEG? I don't know. But this is Joshua Rossfield for 0 mana, 0/1 body, legendary creature, Cobalt Warrior, first strike, menace, trample, partner. And once I read that, I was like, oh, I know this commander already. I'm surprised that they even made Joshua Rossfield as this, but this is commander that is highly popular, very popular. I actually made a video on this commander, and it's actually one of my top videos, which surprised me. But let me show you who this commander is. You've probably seen it in the bulk box, Ragnarok, son of Ragnarok, right? A 0-drop commander, you want to buff it with equipments and auras and just smash face to your opponent. Slap opponent out of the game. Like, it gets disgusting. A creature with first strike, menace, and trample on a 0-drop. Do not underestimate how many low CMC artifact equipments there are out there. Yes, he will be an easy target. But guess what? That's why we play the game. Increase your political game in Commander. You know what? That's why you play mono red. Hey, you give people ultimatums, and if they don't have a removal spell, oh, they might be out. But watch another player save another player just for, I don't know, spitefulness or for the heck of it. So Ragnarok, son of Ragron, awesome commander, 0-drop, fun to play. You get him on the battlefield and you start smashing face. It's a low CMC mono red commander. Whenever you build them, just make sure you add a lot of card draw, because there's nothing worse when you play mono red and your hand burns out, literally. Thank you for watching this episode of Underrated Commanders, all from the Final Fantasy sets. Edgar, Ultima Sia, and Joshua Rossfield, I think, are very appealing. You can throw them in your 99, or they can be your face commander of a secret 99 commander. You got options. Let me know what you think about these underrated commanders. I'm your host, Commander Claw. Thank you for watching the video. Go ahead and subscribe.